Okay, we'll call the highway committee meeting order for October 8th at 8:29. Roll call, we have everyone present. Approval of minutes for the September 10th meeting.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
I'll second. Motion been made second. Any additions or corrections on the minutes for September 10th? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Public comment, none. I'm placed on share. On to report.
Turn it over for Brent, for our field operation report.
Currently, excuse me, today we were out paving out by Jake's and Pioneer. They put one side of the final mat on Monday. They're putting the other side on today. They'll be working on intersections tomorrow. Hopefully it'll be close. I don't know if they'll get them all tomorrow, intersections and driveways. If not, we'll have to finish on Monday. We've also been crack filling in towns on the state. Pretty much all the crack filling in the county has been done on our county roads. But we still have 2 towns yet to do, which shouldn't take very long. And also, it depends on how much money they want to spend on the state, but at least the rest of 170 from the Colfax shop to Portland. And then we also we are doing some mowing down south. We sprayed that down there earlier this year and there's a lot of weeds, very, very high. Talked to Dustin about it. Looked through things and we decided to mow south of 94 right now.
So the spray didn't work?
The spray works on, it did great on all the wild parsnip and all that stuff, but there are certain weeds that it does not kill, like they call it blue.
It's not a weed, so it's a native grass.
Yeah.
They call it blue stem and it gets to be about 5 feet tall.
It's just great.
And it always lays kind of dormant until about July. Is when it takes off, and that's what is taking over in the ditches.
And then there's a bunch of sumac too that I suppose won't kill either. So, and then we've been going out more, hitting some intersections, trying to get some safety issues taken care of that way. So we will continue to do more of that once projects are wrapped up and we get guys to the outline shops. We've been doing some work on the state. We have endless work on the state to do. There's no doubt. We have some sloughs on 25. We got to go in and sloughed off. We got to go in and rip wrap behind the guardrail. We just cleaned a box culvert out that was plumb full right to the top, south of Downsville on 25. We had to rent a little machine. It only took us a day. Shockingly, it was very impressive. The little skid steer that you can stand on, which was very, very tight. So in the shop here, we rigged up a little seat that they could sit on because otherwise you'd have had to bend your legs the whole time while you're doing it. So it worked out really well. And we were kind of figuring about a week on it and only took, that machine was awesome. It only took like really a full day. So, and we still have some work down there. They're down there today working on that. A couple guys are. Patching, we definitely have that to do. We have guardrail work to do. There's guardrail work to do on the D project out there by Jake's and Pioneer, which I don't know. We got to talk to Dustin and Brittany and figure out what we're going to do with that. If we're going to get that done this year or next spring. But we will discuss that. Other than that, trying to get things ready for winter as soon as we get our projects done. And we have salt sand mixing starting next week. I know we got to go get all that stuff, and I'm sure Dan will lead into that. So right now, I'd say we've done a lot of work in the county. You guys know that, and it's been the guys of, gave good effort. We've got a lot done, and trying to get D has come along very, very good. I can't complain. I mean, that job went pretty quick as far as I'm concerned. Brittany and Dylan did a lot of engineering staking out there, and You know, they ran into a few issues with our plan, but they fixed it. They got it all fixed and we made it all work and it's coming together great.
What'd you say about he doing something yet this year or next year?
The guardrail.
Oh,
We're not sure how we're gonna fit that in here yet. Some parts of it might be able to be done this year, some might have to wait till next spring. I gotta talk to Dustin about that. I don't know if Jay talked to you about it yesterday,
Our staff are gonna be doing that work.
so.
After we're done paving, we'll be doing it.
Okay, there you go.
So are you almost all done paving or you still got some paving left to do?
We are paving today, the final mat on the last side of D. And then we have intersections and driveways. And then we do have one township, it'll probably be about one day
Okay,
that they want us to come do it if we can get to it. They just brought it up kind of late last couple of weeks. So other than that, do you guys have any other questions?
so when the grader goes down the road, do they have to have like a slow moving vehicle sign behind it? Because I was over in Chippewa County and then the truck behind it, behind the grader, had the green and like orange lights on behind the grader. So I'm just wondering,
I know we have lights on ours, I guess
We have strobe lights. We don't have any green lights on.
I don't know about
Okay.
any slow moving emblem signs, I don't think we do.
I don't think we do, I guess. You know, as far as if we're working with it, of course, we'd have all our signs up for
yeah,
our
Yeah,
work
road
area, road area. If it's going down a road, the graders will, if they're just driving and they will go at a pretty good speed. So
okay,
I don't know what, really constitutes a slow moving vehicle sign, but how many miles per hour,
35 for fire.
you know,
Yeah.
Under
I mean,
35.
And if we're out on the road, we have our lights on and usually we do have a truck behind it too. If we're out,
okay.
you know, like in the winter. We'll have a truck behind it too for safety.
and they do have their warning lights on the back and up on top of
Yeah,
the strobe
sure.
lights. So I mean, they are lit up, so.
But do you have any pickups that got the lights on like
Oh,
that?
yeah,
Well, you do now.
yeah. The lights on most of these pickups are so nice that they think we're a cop pulling them. So it's kind of crazy sometimes. They pull over to the side when we're coming down the road. So
Yeah, yeah. All of our state route trucks do have the green amber,
Okay,
and we are working on installing some of our, on our newer triaxles that are on the county roads. Because it's a little expensive to, but they work really well, so.
Mhm.
They do. So, yeah, the green works good.
anything else?
If not, you good to go?
And if you wanna,
Okay, on the
Into
shop
the shop.
operations, like it says there, we're doing routine services and repairs. The mechanics have done a really good job keeping all the trucks and equipment going here for all our projects that we've done. We've done a lot of projects, like Brendan said. And some, of course, are still going on. We've got the salt sand equipment, the conveyors and stuff. We brought one back here because we haven't run in a couple of years. So we have those all up and running, ready to go. Today we're gonna rent the screener again from Airing Equipment like we always have,
Mhm.
along with the loader that we're gonna use. We thought about loading with the excavator, but we're gonna use a loader. And we're getting it ready today and probably tomorrow, so we can start Monday. Screening the sand for salt sand, make it salt sand. Like they said, our Wisconsin surplus auction ended last Thursday. All the items have been paid for and a lot of them have been picked up already. So as a whole, I think our auction went pretty well. Some stuff might have went a little less, but then some went more for what we kind of expected. So I think it turned out pretty well. Yesterday, we held our annual fall safety meeting. It's an all-day, 10-hour training with the guys. We had 46 employees here doing it. The agenda was, we did have, we did a construction review with the highway staff, and then we had state patrol here for questions answered. We did some work on our fleet maintenance program with the guys on putting it on their phones and stuff so they can do their pre-trip inspections right away in the morning. It makes it a lot easier. We did get airing equipment. They brought a loader over for us. Well, we ended up bringing it over, but they let us get a number 90 loader, the same one that we're purchasing. It's a little different than the one on the controls and on the accessories. But they came over and did some task training on it for the guys. So the guys got a little chance to look at it a little bit before we get into the season. And he was still talking the end of October, and maybe the 1st of November for. So I hope.
So were you able to use this one till then, you're saying, or?
No, we took it back to him. We're taking it back today and picking this stuff up. It's brand new. I guess I kind of felt them out on that, and I don't think they would do that. You know, it probably should have been, for the time frame. You know, I looked it up when we made the purchase order out in April 4th or something. So they've had 6 months since then. But they are working with us on the price of renting a loader cheaper too than what normally is. And
For the same
use that
thing?
out to salt sand.
Okay.
Yeah, so we did get a little break there. We did some training on our new brine systems on our state trucks. And then yesterday we did an equipment rodeo again like we did last year. We did one on the truck, one on the loader, and one on our track skid loaders. At 3 different stations. The guys kind of like that. All in all, it went pretty well. So we got that taken care of for the year. We did incorporate a fire drill in that time frame. We had to do it for HR. So all 46 employees got to participate in that, so they know where to go in case of a fire and the office girls from. So that's taken care of. Like it says up there, our guys worked hard, or Tony worked hard, calibrating all of our state trucks for the 10 routes that we have. They're all calibrated for the winter readiness program. I just got to fill out the paperwork and get that signed and sent in. All the equipment has been installed, all the plow equipment, and tested. So the state route trucks, as of right now, are ready to go if we do get some snow. We do have some spare trucks that we could use on the county, some of the routes. So that takes care of that. We did receive those 2 new Chevy pickups. And we're planning on hopefully having another auction and yet here before the winter, if we can do it, to sell a couple of our older pickups and maybe a couple other little things. And I think Dustin's and I talked to you about that. And like I said, that's about it, but we've been busy in the shop. So, everything's been working pretty good, actually. We had a little hiccup with the paver Monday, but that's taken care of. We had to place electronic box on it. So, yeah, other than that, truck's been working good. So, yeah. Any questions?
Start building the new plow trucks yet, or?
Tony is working on the last tandem axle. We've just got a few things to hook up on the brine system. And then we just got to put the decals and stuff on it. So that'll be done. So then we'll take one of our state trucks currently now and switch that out. So then that tandem state truck will be implemented into our county fleet. We're thinking probably going down to Galley. A little longer beat down there to have a tandem axle, which will be kind of nice. Yeah, so all of once Tony finishes this one, then all of the tandem trucks all the new ones are done. And then we can start on the triaxles. We have received pretty much all the equipment from Universal that we ordered. The only thing we're waiting on now is the front plows and the wings, which are coming from next door over here at Indian Head, and he said probably December on those. So, but the time we get everything else mounted on them, it'll work out, you know, and hopefully we'll still get them going here before the end of winter. So that would take all of our trucks in service that we have.
And it is difficult to try to get those in here because obviously we did have a mechanic welder position resign.
That still hasn't been built.
we still are not able to fill it. We went through 2 rounds of applications and find a qualified candidate in each one, so.
Yeah.
We may have to have our internal staff step up and kind of help with that process of fabricating these triaxles. So,
Do they have to, raise the price in for that welder to get them, to get more candidates? They come in or,
we never even got to a point where it was negotiating wages.
Okay.
Like I said, we just didn't feel we had a candidate that fit what we needed.
Yeah, in the second round, we only had 4 applications.
Hmm.
We have 8 on the first round, I think. Is it
7, yeah.
7? You know, so I mean, we're not getting a lot of applicants either.
I mean, it's difficult. We're looking for somebody that has a wide range of
And making way more
skills.
money private.
Well, that skill's kind of diminishing too. The skill of doing all that stuff, it's
Mhm.
remove and replace nowadays.
And we've talked on how to word it differently, because I think we gotta word more mechanic instead of welder, because we're getting a lot of welders coming in with not very much mechanic skill. But most,
The fabricators really need.
And I don't think we'll get a fabricator. That's, I don't think we can
For that
arrange
wage.
that, but
And then how do you increase his wage and then increase the rest of
Yeah.
We've been working shorthanded and still making it work, but busy.
couple things I wanted to add on mine that I did not say is the concrete repairs on 94 and 29. They went well. We planned for a full 4 days. And we finished a day ahead of time, and then we also did about 50 yards of concrete over at Judicial in the median over there where they had all the rock.
Hmm.
So that was about a 2-day project. Went and graded it all out, tore the trees out, poured 49 3/4 yards over there last Monday. So yeah, that went well. Happy we got that done.
does that walkway from the Digital Center going west, does that get a lot of use? Remember you guys like put a lot of work into it.
Dan says yes.
Yeah.
It does. There's always people,
walking.
anytime you leave, there's always someone walking.
But maybe they're going around the whole city, take the bike around, whatever.
Yeah, you do see a lot of people with their bikes too.
Mhm.
No, it was definitely, it was a good thing. Although you had a lot of people that would walk the road,
I was gonna say, you don't see them on
That's
the road anymore,
cool.
so that's.
and there was always
Not
someone
safer.
walking. Yes. So yeah,
Any other questions?
So how do you really like mix that salt with the sand out there? I mean, to get the right part of salt
You,
into the sand, you got a little something that puts it on there or?
there's augers and you got it set right, and it's right around anywhere from 3 to 5% salt in there.
Okay.
Definitely not over 5. So
I'm just kind of curious. I don't know if you just had to pour a little bit on there or if you had.
no, you got an auger that it dumps into a hopper. Then the auger carries the salt up into the conveyor and the sands. They're dumping that into the screener up there, and all these conveyors come together, and that little bit of salt just sprinkles on there the whole time.
Yeah.
So
And we use our couple of roller triaxles to run the salt back and forth here.
Mhm.
And those are kind of metering the salt as it goes on in the conveyor, and they can kind of control that. And of course, they know the screener, how much production they're putting out. So they can keep it pretty close.
they know when to speed it up and
Yeah.
slow it down.
Yeah, so, but it just kind of drops it on the conveyor. The salt, sand comes through and the salt drops on top, but then all the time it gets out and dropped and everything else, it gets mixed up.
Where are you mixing that in?
Out of the Albright pit.
Okay.
So that pit's still holding out? Cause didn't you just have like a little area left before you ran out of area out there?
we relocated a pile of material that was housed out there, and we relocated that, and we probably gained a few more years of
Wow.
material underneath it. So we're hopeful another 5 to 7 years is what we're we're hopeful. And if we have mild winters, we don't have to make any. So
Yeah,
I'll support that 100%.
I know we got 2 years, we didn't have to mix any, so that was a pretty good savings on everything.
So you guys were out working on Monday, right?
Mhm.
Were you out there yesterday?
No, we had our safety day.
No.
I wish we would have been out there
I
yesterday.
was gonna say Tuesday's like perfect day, but
It is a
okay,
perfect
that's
day.
the safety thing. It's okay.
We can never predict 3 months in advance what we're gonna be doing.
No.
So it's
Yeah.
difficult.
We all wanted to be out there working yesterday, but we just
There's
couldn't.
a lot of planning and organization for the safety, you have to do it, quite a ways out.
I meant more. No, I get that. I forgot about that.
With the
No,
businesses,
yes, that's what
Yes.
I meant.
Tuesday is the best day,
Because of what?
because Jake's isn't open and all that stuff.
So you don't have to get out of the way or whatever. Just less traffic.
Yep,
All right.
We didn't, I'm not,
well, thank you, guys.
thank you.
Thank you.
We'll lead into our engineering project updates. So the County Road D project up by Irvington, so that project has been closed out. The punch list items have been completed. So that project is finished. The other project that Brent mentioned, obviously County Road D and G from 25 to 8/16 up there. And see there's the photos of it. That was the single mat on there, obviously, when I took these pictures. As you can see, there's some guardrail area just in that bottom photo. We're gonna have to put guardrail along there just because of the steepness. Not having recoverable slopes. If somebody goes off the road, you can't recover off of that. So we have to add guardrail there. All in all, the project went well, better than anticipated. We did have few little errors in our plan set, in particular with the curb grades. That Brittany had to work through. I applaud her for that. She was dealing with a lot on this. There's one thing that we're working with the owner of Jake's. As you can see, the parking area where there's asphalt behind this curb. We can only do work obviously within our road right away. He was looking at wanting to pave his portion of that parking lot in front of the building and do some regrading, because right now the water is kind of going towards the building. That's outside our right of way. So we are working with getting quotes on having that bladed and paved behind the curb. Not our county forces doing it, because they, like I said, they don't want to seam. They need some grading and stuff, and we can't go outside the road right away. So we are entertaining that. I'm waiting for the quote on that from Monarch to complete that work. So that's going to be about the only thing that's going to be sitting there not completed. Obviously, we've put material behind the curb, so it's not a tripping hazard or anything like that, or you can still drive over it and not be an issue. So, worst comes to worst, we're gonna do what we have to do in our road right away. And unfortunately, it'll look kind of goofy if they come back and do something next year or whatever. So yeah, trying to work together to try to get that completed.
So you can slope it out then, when it goes like toward Jake's, is there a big bump now or not too bad?
No, like, so everything in our road right away is sloped towards the road.
Okay,
But there's about a 10-foot area behind that slopes towards their building.
okay.
And like I said, the whole thing needs to be regraded, but unfortunately, we cannot work outside the road right.
And,
He wants to flatten it down, but if we go and pave this part, then he's not gonna be able to, so
Yeah.
okay,
he wants to be able to just slope it out.
It would look a lot nicer if it was all done at one time.
yeah.
Yeah,
I would agree.
definitely.
So like I said, we're gonna entertain some quotes on it and
So
go
it'd
from
be a
there.
partial, he'd have to pay for this part, and you'd have to pay for, or we'd have to pay for a part of it. Basically is what would happen,
Yes.
but it'll all be done right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I know the cost would be more expensive than our staff doing it, which, like I said, that's why I'm entertaining it. It's not to say it's going to happen, but
Right.
we'll entertain it. And then going through the other projects, County Road Y, double B and G projects, the contractor finally put the pavement markings on those roads. I believe Y was the only one that we were kind of holding out with, and I think they got that done now. But everything looks good there. So those projects are closed out. Just kind of give you a heads up on some of these bridge projects that are that 80-20 match projects that are currently being in the program to be replaced. So we talked about that one bridge up there in Sand Creek. So that's the photo up there. So we just recently posted that to 20 tons due to the last inspection of that bridge. It's in the program to be replaced. So there's going to be a public information meeting here November 5th up in the town of Sand Creek. So all public and adjoining landowners can attend that to kind of give the public an input of what's going on, and they can kind of give their comments on what they'd like to see changed or improved upon. So that'll be November 5th. And the other structure there is the one on County Road D, just to the east of the like the Tainer area there on the north end of Tainer. So that public information meeting is going to be held November 6th. That's the 16th at the Tainer Town Hall. As you can see, the big concerns with this particular project, and I think this is going to be a discussion with all of you at some point in time. As you can see, those two intersections are right on top of the bridge. The new design, which is I've seen about, it's not to the 30% plan quite yet, but the new plan is the bridge is going to be shifted approximately about 25 feet it's going to be extended each way. So those intersections, the new bridge is going to be right into those intersections. So we have to relocate the intersections. We have two options. We either shift them back another 75 feet or so, or maybe 100 feet to the west of where they are currently, or we have an option of putting a cul-de-sac on each one of them. The big concern is we had a meeting with the engineering staff as well as the DOT regarding this. The way it was budgeted was to put cul-de-sacs in, which would be considerably less cost. Now, if we shift them, we have a potential of what our engineering staff is telling us is about $600,000 to $1 million extra cost due to the rock formation that's out there. There's a lot of rock.
You have to buy more road right away.
So, yes.
A lot more, yeah.
So what I'm pushing for on a county level is we would cul-de-sac these intersections. There is access out. Literally the one to the north there is what do we say, a quarter mile down the road? If that, it's like a tenth of a mile.
It's not bad.
The one on the north side there also poses an issue of sight distance because of that rock formation there. You have a lot of restrictions there. The one to the south there, I think, is going to be a little bit more pressing for some individuals if we would cul-de-sac that.
Can you do one cul-de-sac and one?
You can, but it's going to add cost.
Sure.
Like I said,
But that one's a little bit more of a need and less dangerous than that side if you're going to.
Yep. So that's what we're gonna, like I said, we want to have the public input on this. But I at some point in time, I know it's gonna come back to this committee. Potentially, if we do see increased costs, we can try to do a change management to the DOT for extra funding, not guaranteed. Otherwise, it's on the locals' dime. So like I said, I want you to be prepared for it now, sooner than later. Because like I said, this will be a discussion, I believe, going forward. The other structure, obviously the Cedar Falls Bridge, just give you an update on that. So we did solicit for a consultant to complete the application and the estimate for this next program cycle. This bridge obviously was in the program to be potentially replaced. So we hired SCH consultants to complete the application and estimate, which is going to be due here October 31st. So all that information will be submitted to us for review prior to gets submitted to the state. Like I said, we're looking at obviously a cost range. We're looking at 6 million to 10 million. That's kind of a ballpark estimate to replace this structure. So it's kind of a wait and see. We'll have numbers here by the end of the month here, kind of what an estimate would be. So I can kind of present that to you guys, what we're going to be looking at, and hopefully the project can get awarded the funding to be replaced. And as I noted before, I would not envision this bridge to be replaced until 2031. It's going to be in the later portion of this program. And then just kind of leading into, so I've been getting a number of emails and phone calls by local residents in the Cedar Falls area that they continually see loaded trucks, farm equipment, agricultural, semis, trucks, tractors, everything that are going over this. But obviously there's a lot of individuals that don't know what the weights of these vehicles are. So they just assume that they see a tractor going over it. Well, they assume it's over that 20 tons. So I did reach out to a number of local businesses just to inform them that people are watching out for the structure. I did contact our sheriff's department and the state patrol. They are going to make periodic patrols of this bridge. And they will obviously enforce fines if need be. I did entertain the possibility of, can we install cameras at this structure and actually have some type of enforcement off of that? And we cannot. So
Chip will try that. Definitely.
yeah, so obviously you got to have a state patrol deputy to actually enforce it. Our sheriff's department can't, they're not trained for it. But that's not to say they can't pull somebody over and have the state patrol come anyway.
But can you put cameras up just to see what is going across there?
We
Obviously, you
could,
don't know
obviously
the
it'd be a
weight.
cost, but
You don't know the weight and you can't find them off of that, but
No.
you can at least see.
Chip will try that too, but they took down the cameras and threw them in the river.
I think they were actually having people steal them.
They were stealing them,
Yeah,
but
they
they also
was.
found them in the wherever.
Yeah.
Just to let you know. Doesn't stop them.
So these
But
are,
it would be nice.
like the two bridges, are they both in the same time frame? The High Bridge and one at Cedar Falls?
So the high bridge is in 2028 for replacement.
That's not very far away.
Yeah, so, and then the Cedar Falls one, like I said,
31.
is not in the replacement program
Yeah.
quite yet. We have to get through the application to get awarded funding.
Mhm.
So like I said, we're hopeful, not a guarantee.
So that High Bridge, is that like 80% state or not?
Yeah, so it's 80% federally funded and 20% local. But like I said, the growing concern with that is the potential cost increase above and beyond the maintenance agreement that we have with the state due to those two intersections. So,
So the cul-de-sac would be obviously a fairly large one, right? I mean, to get.
it would be a standard DOT cul-de-sac. And obviously to put the cul-de-sacs on these town roads, there would still require real estate. And we're envisioning we're going to have to purchase real estate for this regardless.
Because where that rock formation is on the northwest corner, it's gonna be a fair amount of excavating, obviously not near as much as if we had to relocate the whole road, but I mean, there's definitely gonna be some excavation.
So on that north side, what's envisioned so far is the cul-de-sac would be approximately, I want to say about 300 feet down the road. So we wouldn't
Okay.
have to get into that rock.
Okay,
The one on the south side would be closer to this intersection and we would still have to excavate some rock.
I
guess
not too
not-
bad there.
I guess
Yes.
that was my
Push
question.
further back from the intersection.
When you talk about cul-de-sacs, how close to the actual D that the cul-de-sacs were gonna be, hoping they'd be far enough back where you wouldn't have people running through, not knowing the cul-de-sac was there and just plow through the signs you would put around the corner of the cul-de-sac to protect the road, basically, or whatever.
Yep.
I mean, that's what I've seen in cul-de-sacs is
Yeah, they'll drive.
people up and,
Yeah.
and from here to the pavement outside is the road, and it's like, but
I'm guessing it'd be similar to the Oak Lake. I think where they brought that around and stopped it, that we just released back to the township, right?
Yes, correct.
Something like that, but
Yes.
would it be a little bit bigger than that one?
Yes.
Okay, because that one's
Yes.
pretty small, but that one's been there for quite a while too.
when you talk about size, you're talking about the ability to turn in it and get, if you're pulling a trailer or something like that.
That's
you
what I'm,
got on the wrong road or didn't realize it was there and.
Yeah, typically they're built at a 60-foot radius, so you'd have 120 feet
Right.
wide cul-de-sac.
okay,
So,
because yeah, there's a lot of them down there that you have to back all the way out, which I'm quite familiar with.
yeah, this one
Sounds fun.
you would not have to do that.
So the ones by my house, those would be standard size.
Yeah, those are good, but I'm saying like 770th and stuff,
Yeah.
got the road, when you get back. there,
I'm just trying to
nothing.
get a picture of how big they are.
Yep.
Like out here and stuff.
So does the township have anything to do with that? That's just town roads or?
Yeah, they have their input on it. I mean, they definitely do.
Okay.
And like I said, that's where we're gonna have to work with the public, the town, kind of come up with a solution. And hopefully a cost-effective solution.
But there's no homes now, right, in those two driveways coming into that road? I mean, they're far enough back that you're not gonna affect any.
Correct. Yeah. Like I said, the one on the north side there, I think it's approximately 300 feet. Where the first driveway is, and then on the south side, I want to say it's about 100 feet. So, like I said, it is doable. It's just how well the residents in the town will.
I'm sure half of them are gonna want less traffic through there and
Yeah.
half of them are gonna want to be able to get out, so.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, like I said, it's
Roads are nice.
we do take public input on it, but that doesn't always have to be the case where we have they're designed it like that.
All right.
So.
I don't know if this is the right time to bring this up or not, but on a different project on B. When you get off the exit off of B or off of 94 and hit B. There's and which I do quite often, there's a lot of traffic, mostly semis that sit at that light and will not take a right until it turns green.
Yeah, so there's gonna be a sign placed there that says turn on red.
Okay. Cause I see up at like Roberts, you get off there and it says right turn on red after stop. I'm gonna see if we could put something up there like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a state signal, so we have to have the states approve it, and they are getting a sign for it. It's taking time.
Perfect.
That's
Yeah, there will be.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Going through the agenda here, so general transportation aid, so I put in your packet, our 2026 calculation. The what's in your packet is most likely not going to be correct. So Dan and I'm gonna applaud Dan. So Dan looked at the ETA calculation. He said something doesn't seem right. So if you kind of look at our average, I'll pull the portion up in your packet. So if you look on the top left, you see the imputed GTA figures. So our 6-year average is right around that 12.4. As you can see, the 2024 submitted costs are 26 million.
That seems really good.
So there's a huge discrepancy there.
We got better going.
I mean, at the end of the day, we looked at this number and like, well, this is great. I mean, we're going up. A bad year fell off and a good year came on. But it's a really good year. So yeah, we are looking into this. There's going to have to be some changes, we believe, to the Department of Revenue to redo this number so we can get what it should be. like I said, I was tickled pink when I seen that. And I was like, hey, this is good that we're showing that our hard work is benefiting the county. But we do believe that number is going to be skewed and changed. So
I think the good thing about that is that whole calculation doesn't let you increase by more than 115%.
yeah,
So there was a ceiling on that, so
correct.
that's.
So what's in your packet, like I said, don't even look at it. In all honesty. So I will provide the updated calculation when it's all said and done. Going through the LRIPs, SDP, and ARIP programs. I just wanted to kind of give you a little background on these programs to kind of just give you an understanding of what they do and what they don't do. So what we call the LRIP program is the Local Road Improvement Program. So this is a program that is funded by the state. It's allocated funds that each county receives. We still have to put an application together, whatever, but it is allocated funds that are guaranteed to the counties. There's three portions. There's your regular, they call it a CHI, which is your county highway improvement. And then there's a CHI D, which is discretionary, and then a CHI S, which is your supplemental. So the regular CHI program under the LRIP program is allocated funds that are guaranteed for the county. So on average, it's about $200,000 is what they give us to put towards a project that's in our 5-year plan. What we've done in the past is we utilize those funds for hot mix materials. So it helps offset the material costs. So if we spend $500,000, we can put $200,000 to that project to help offset that cost. So that's kind of that program. The supplement and discretionary is funds that are allocated to the region, and then the region disperses it to each county. So the 11 counties that are in our region, the commissioners divvy up the funding on where all the funding goes. But it's usually a consistent percentage based of where it goes. So like I said, that's that program that has a 5-year window for those funds to be utilized. The 2026 and 2027 program is officially kicked off. So we will be receiving these numbers this year for projects in 26 and beyond for the next 5 years. So that program starts every other year. That makes sense. So it's a biennium basis. So the surface transportation program, that's the SDP program. So that's like our Irvington project that just happened this year, County Road D by Irvington, where it's an 80-20 match. So 80% federal funding dollars and 20% local funding dollars. So it's roads and bridges. So that SDP program is that program, and you have to apply for it, and you can receive funding or not. And that is a 5-year program as well. So Agriculture Road Improvement Program, that's a new program that was started in 24, which legislation put $150 million into it the previous cycle, and they are doing it again in this cycle. So applications are currently being accepted for the first round of project solicitations. So they put a $50 million into the first round and $100 million in the second round. The caveat to that is the only roads that qualify are local roads or minor collectors. So I kind of showed you the map here. So anything that is brown or gray are eligible for the ARIP program. So a lot of our roads are yellow, as you can see. So we have major collectors is what those are classified. As you can see, County Road B, major collector. So we can't apply for ARIP funding on that. I would really like to do this County Road D down by O'Galley, but we can't apply for it. So all the ones that are in brown or gray, we can solicit an application to. So we are looking at obviously submitting something. We just haven't selected a road quite yet, what we want to try to get agricultural improvements
So that road on that B,
would not qualify.
Huh.
So the County Road B project out by 40 to 690th.
Right.
I have already put an application in for the STP program. So like I said, that's completed. That state they had a few reviews, changes that we need to do to it, but otherwise, we're looking at trying to get that portion into that STP program. So yeah, it kind of, the ARIP program also is a program that if the road has a Class B restriction, which is basically half load, so you can haul 80,000 pounds on a typical road. With a Class B restriction, it's 40,000. So it's a program to get established to remove weight restrictions on roadways. That includes seasonal weight restrictions. So that kind of throws another caveat into this is you can't apply for a road unless it was seasonally weight restricted in the past. Like I said, we are an agricultural community. We can probably pick any one of these, but we have to follow the rules and look at what roads qualify based on their classification and their restrictions.
So that would eliminate the restrictions you're saying.
Yes. If we get a project that is awarded, we cannot weight restrict it. That is the whole reasoning of this program. So you would build the road accordingly to not have to do that.
And that is not in our packet. That map, right?
It is not. That's something you can find this on the DOT's website. I'm just looking, you can see every county that you want. So, how those are established is usually your ADT volumes is the biggest reasoning why it's a minor collector, major collector, or local road. Obviously, the more traffic that you have on it, it's considered a major collector, as well as roads that kind of establish between cities and villages. That's another reasoning why they're kind of considered collectors.
so you talk about a collector, you're talking about a road that gets to a state or
Yes,
interstate
yes,
type road.
Yep.
So anything running into 29, 12, 25, 94, and I'm just gonna stop there.
yeah, typically,
That
yes.
would be a collector.
yes.
And is it a collector because it runs from another state highway to another state highway?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so it's 40 is a
So-
state highway, right?
So you can just take into consideration M and W up there.
Correct.
So you see M is a major, W is a minor.
Yeah,
So they both go to the same spot,
right.
but it's all based on ADT volumes.
Gotcha.
So
Okay,
M might have 1,000 cars and W has 200.
so it's volume too. then.
Yes.
You gotcha. Obviously, B
Yep.
is a major collector. So,
Yep.
thanks. I figured that's what it was, but I just wanted clarity on that, what a collector was, so.
Questions? Like I said, this map can be found online. As you can see, every town road is a local road. There is no minor, major, except for your road. That's the
So
only
you see-
major collector.
And you see there's like 11 counties in our area.
Yes, in our region.
Okay.
We're comprised of the west central region.
Does that go by the amount of miles? Because like Dunn County has a lot more miles, so do we get a bigger percent as compared to Pepin or whatever?
No,
No.
No.
That don't make sense.
that's,
A lot of things don't make sense, but. You know,
Welcome to life.
yeah, so it's not necessarily the amount of roads, it's the percentage of population, it's not just road based, it's population based. There's other configurations into it. So the bigger counties get more funding than the smaller ones typically. Moving on. I put in your packet the 2024 Highway Annual Report. So this is something you'll see again, and I will be presenting it at next month's county board meeting. I don't know if you want to go into full detail of it. Just highlighting is the big project on County Road B that took place in 2024, which consumed most of our budget. That's kind of the big highlight in 2024. A lot of this you guys have probably already seen before. What's going on here? I did note, so we had 425.24, I think it was, miles of county roadways. Obviously, last year we did a jurisdictional transfer to Old County Highway E in the town of Springbrook. So our certified mileage went down to 424.72. So we reduced it by just over a half a mile. I did note that in there for those that wondering. But you've seen this before as well. Obviously, this was presented or after the audit, where net position is for 2024. We completed 13.5 miles of roadways last year, which amounts to about a 31-year lifespan. So we are getting there to that 20 to 25. Like I said, the largest component of that was our B project. There was the project list and costs. As you can see, the north portion was 3.3, south portion was 1.3. Bear with me if you want to stop. I just, like I said, I went through all the projects, kind of give a little detail what the cost was. And did note, obviously the one on the top there was an 80-20 match. So the overall cost was 6.9. We had to fund 1.3 of that 6.9. The north portion of B, that was 3.3. And once the project was completed, we received $1 million grant from the state.
So now you were saying that because the prices went down a little bit on this project, how much did we actually save? Because I thought you said it went down, that the estimate was higher than what you.
Yeah, so the one on the north was estimated, I believe, at 7.4, and it came in at 6.9. So our 20% portion of that was reduced.
Mhm.
The north phase, I don't recall what that was. I want to say the estimate was like 3.8, 3.6, somewhere in that range. It came in at 300,000 less.
So we should have saved a little money that
Yeah,
way.
yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just going through some of the projects, like I said, County Road M, County Road H, County Road Double B. Sure, there is H down in Rock Falls.
Did that go all the way down to the county line then? The
Yeah.
Pepin?
Yep.
Okay.
County Road T is where it stopped.
Mhm.
That's kind of the forgotten road in Dunn County. It's County Road T.
Yeah.
Nobody knows where the heck that is.
I do.
I do.
Like what? We own a county road down there? Yes. That's County Road H project north of Elk Mound, and then the one bridge on County Road C in Muddy Creek. That got replaced last year. County maintenance, the overall cost is 3.3 million. What makes up the revenue on that is typically general transportation aid and vehicle registration fees, as well as levy dollars if funded to complete that. So give you a general idea of kind of some of the maintenance activities, what they are, and lifespans of what they generally cost. There's the maintenance activities. Obviously, when you have a mild winter, your vegetation control goes skyrockets. So as you can see, I believe what we had budgeted was 400,000 and we doubled that. But our winter maintenance was budgeted, I believe, right around that 1.4, 1.5, and that'll be the next slides or so. As you can see, this is our main maintenance activities that we do. What makes up the majority of it is seal coating, vegetation, and your surface maintenance, your pothole patch and overlays, stuff like that. County winter maintenance activities, just kind of give you a kind of little background on 17 plow routes on the county and 10 on the state. How many lane miles that we maintain and kind of what makes it up. There's our winter maintenance costs. So as you can see in 2024, we only spent 809,000 of 1 point, I think it was 1.4. That was budgeted. And as you can see, the salt costs keep increasing. This year in 2025, it's $105 a ton. So,
Does that come from Superior, where we get the salt from?
so it comes up the barge up the Mississippi.
Okay.
Where it comes from south of here, I don't know.
So we have to pick it up down there and bring it up here,
No, so it gets delivered to St. Paul,
or? Okay.
and then from St. Paul, it gets delivered to us
Mhm.
through a state contract.
Okay.
So there's only 3 counties that get salt from St. Paul, us, St. Croix, and Polk, I believe. Or maybe Pierce, one or the other. Otherwise, everybody else is Superior or we're by Green Bay area, another depot. Cross has another one. There's a list of all the equipment that we purchased or we're working on. Obviously, the stuff on the bottom is the work in progress. So that was all the stuff that started in 24, 23 and kind of escalated even into 25. So a lot of that is plow trucks and equipment. Current roadway conditions. So this was at the end of the year last year. Our roads improved or got worse. They did improve slightly. I believe we went from a 1 to 2. It was like 3% went down to 1%. After we completed the 2024. I will always note we invest all of our money in the 1s through 4s. So that big blue line there is my concern. At some point in time, those 5s and 6s will be 3s and 4s and 1s and 2s. We are looking at trying to obviously maybe get ahead of the ball game and maybe start digging away at some of these 5s and 6s by maybe doing mills and overlays or get to them before they get to a point where you have to start doing subsurface improvements. And
So that being said, how many inches are going on D?
4 inches of asphalt. So rule of thumb is we want to put 3 to 4 inches of asphalt over 10 inches of base. 4 inches, yes. Yep. What we're proposing for County Road B is like that over by 40 would be 5 inches is what we're proposing. So it's kind of like your standard DOT road. But it all comes at a cost.
So
More
the
asphalt
road
you
is-
put.
What's the inches before you, put weight restrictions on for like the springtime or?
So what we've done in the past is we want that 3 inches over 10 inches base. And a lot of the roads that have not been touched in the last 40 years don't have that.
Gotcha.
So those are the ones you will see weight restricted.
Yeah.
There are a few roads that, take for instance, County Road E south of town here, goes towards Eau Claire. That is weight restricted seasonally. The big reason why that is to try to deter the traffic from utilizing that road. It does to have 3.5 inches asphalt over 10 inches base. But there's ways around it. So we're trying to preserve what we have in that seasonal weight restriction.
I was just, I was just curious, what kind of your standard was. Not more so for the condition of the road, you know what I'm saying? And I get that's what a weight restriction does, but kind of what your number was in your head, hey, this road's only 3 inches over 10 inches or whatever. We're gonna weight restrict it to try to maintain it, keep it as nice
as we can.
Yeah. I was just curious what you're kind of operating.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Not questioning why why you do it or don't do it. It's just curious. Maintenance wise, what you were thinking, and
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do with like your substandard, your subsoil.
Right.
So I mean, if you're in a swampy, wet area, I mean, obviously that has a lot more
Sure.
moisture in the ground. So a lot more movement and settlement in the springtime. So that's another factor. And then there's obviously looking ahead, I just put 5-year map on there. So hard to see. They can see it in the packet somewhat. It's hard to see, but gives you a general idea. Any questions with the annual report that you will see again?
Just a couple of things. I don't know if this should be brought up in here or just at a budget thing, but, like overall condition. Would it be handy to,
Show the previous.
well, road condition, would it be nice to put in that we rank 59 out of 72 counties or whatever on there as far as the conditions of our roads? Or not, I don't know enough to,
I could definitely add that in there.
I think I don't think the full board realizes where we're at. I mean, we get these questions all the time, and, I didn't we rate that low? I don't know. One thing that I thought we could squeeze that in somewhere, because I think that's important. If we are on the low end of things, why we need the budget money later on. It's an idea.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing I was thinking, where this may be formed by budget, but if we could have like some kind of comparison from a couple neighboring counties, what they spend on road construction versus how many miles they got. I was asked me in this report, but I think that would be, it'd be nice to know what Chippewa spends, what many miles they have, Eau Claire, like Polk, Pierce, whatever, some surrounding counties, what they are actually spending on, new construction versus what we spend on new construction versus.
You think just construction wise would be, I think that's kind of the most important thing.
That's what I think. I think it just has to be.
Maintenance is maintenance.
Maintenance is maintenance. Yeah, I don't care about that so much, but I think the new construction.
Mileage.
How many miles they
is
do?
important.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean-
Miles they do and how much they spend.
With that, those are two things I was thinking about.
Is there, you thinking comparable mileage or are you thinking like just the counties around us?
Just the counties around us. Cause I think that's important because that's what people like to compare to. They,
Yeah, just adjacent counties, in a couple adjacent counties, isn't
Well, I
it?
think,
Barron.
in my mind, it's like, which county around us do we have the most shared roadways with? In other words, our roads run into their counties, you know what I mean? Is it Pepin County to the south, or is it Eau Claire,
I would say Eau Claire or St.
Barron?
It's,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's just an idea because I think it would show the board more, we
Well,
spend
It's tough with comparing us to St. Croix. Obviously.
I know, that's why I say.
The tax base is a lot different there.
Right.
Eau Claire's kind of in that same thing as well. So that's why I'm saying.
Chippewa,
Barron and Chippewa,
I mean, they're,
their equalized value is higher than that Chippewa, but I mean, I think it would be comparable road miles, how much they do for reconstruction.
yeah.
I mean, I just,
I can definitely reach out to them and see.
I
if
think
they
that
can
would be nice to show the board a little bit.
So there's a lot, and Dustin knows this, as you compare apples to apples.
Yeah, I know, it's hard to.
About how the highway operations work in the different counties and what they do. Like St. Croix County does all the work for all the towns in
Right.
St. Croix County.
Right.
So
But I'm
if you
just
look
saying,
at their budget,
It's totally different. Yes,
right.
yes.
um,
But what they spend on county road construction
that's
per
a-
mile is, I think, is very important versus what we spend.
well, how many miles they have.
Unless if we're spending a lot more than they are.
well,
I mean, that's hard to compare too, because I hate to say it, we're behind. There is some counties that are probably maintained or at their maintained level right now. We're trying to catch up.
Well, that's what I say. If you show them where we're at, ranked 59th and of the grade of highway, and then this is what we're spending to, and this is where they're at. I mean, if we can show them where they're at and where we're at and why we spend what we do, I think that would help. And like I said, that could be at the budget stuff too, or.
Once we get back to 25 years, then.
Yeah.
We don't have to do it.
But I just,
let's just be honest, the October meeting is going to be budget stuff too.
yeah, I know.
So-
That's what I'm saying.
So
That's what I'm saying. I think it's important for them to realize, where we're at, and this is why we have to spend this to get to where these other counties are at.
I think there's a proportion to levy that's important, because yes, they may have a larger population
Mhm.
and tax base, but we still have the same number of miles.
Miles, and this is what we have to spend.
And so we likely, I'd have to look at the actual numbers, likely pay a larger percentage of our levy
Oh, yeah.
to highway construction than a St. Croix.
Oh, yeah,
County.
definitely. Yeah, I don't want to see that because I know what that is. I mean, we are way over. But I mean, I just think if we definitely look at houses and how much we spend, quality, where we rank in the phase rankings, I think those two are really important to see for the county board to understand those two. I think that is.
Completely agree. I mean, whatever you can get us would help some. I mean, I know it's maybe a little difficult, but yes, it would definitely give us a little bit better idea, or the board a better idea why we need this.
Yeah.
Sometimes everybody planning on being at home. on 50.
When we get done with the meeting,
All right.
or 15 minutes after, I guess.
Yeah, I was just trying to go back to that slide. I did show that we ranked.
He was
number
implying
8.
he'd be in there forever.
But that just shows our.
We'll be there as long as we need to be there.
Right.
That doesn't tell us like what our road conditions are compared to other.
I just think you put all that in kind of some kind of little easy graph would be really nice.
I did present that to you guys,
Uh-huh.
where our pacer ratings
Yeah,
kind of.
Like I said, we rank
Yeah.
pretty low.
Which was,
Yeah, I think we were
Oh,
like 59 out of 72.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking, and I think that's important for them to know that.
but he's just saying he wants
Yeah.
everybody else to see that.
Yep.
Maybe again,
Yeah, and I think it skips over a lot of people.
Yeah.
they just look at, oh, they're spending this much, and it's like, well, there's a reason. There's a reason.
No,
Those are
absolutely.
two things I think would be nice to put someplace anyway.
I added that as a.
Otherwise, security board, thank you. Sorry.
I rushed to get that done
I know.
just for this
I
meeting.
know. Sorry. Anything else? All right, highway financials.
Yeah, so in your packet, highway financials, they're kind of trending the same as the previous months, as you can see. We are looking at a slight overage on our capital improvements. That's purchasing equipment. In your packet here, we are looking at having another auction to hopefully make up some of these costs. I did put kind of noted there our 7,100 fund, so that's what I call our 7,100. That's our overall budget. As you can see, we're trending there with a surplus. And then our road and bridge 2,600 fund. I don't know if I have that in your packet. Might not be labeled that. I might have did that after the fact, but which will all change 26 and 7100 are all gonna have different numbers with this whole new system. So don't get quite used to it.
Yeah. We'll wait till you get all.
But the big reason why obviously we're seeing a surplus in that account is the County Road C project that we're delaying next year. Questions, concerns?
What was the income on that last auction?
I honestly don't know. It ended, was it, I did not get the numbers that Dan presented, so. The only big ticket thing on there was that sweeper. And the last I looked, it was over $8,000. I think it has a value of about $5,000. I don't know what it actually went for, so that's why I gotta talk to Dan. See what. So a lot of that stuff was small. I mean, we didn't envision getting rich off of it at any means.
Just getting rid of some stuff we didn't need.
I mean, there was old sweeper brooms and parts that we don't even have the piece of equipment anymore we sold 15 years ago. So we didn't envision that being a large number.
Okay. All right, any other questions?
Then just, there's the chems report too.
Oh, okay.
So that's what Joy presents every, kind of gives you a little detailed breakout of each project, each maintenance activity, each bridge activity. I kind of put lines there, kind of breaking out. The top portion is your maintenance, your middle portion is your bridge information, and then the south half is the road projects. But there's a lot of cost on the County Road D project that's not on here yet. So. We're still paying the bills for the Irvington one yet as well. It'll come in periodically.
That's right, looks, yeah.
But I do envision us having obviously a number remaining there, funds remaining. As mentioned, we did mow. We started mowing again because, like I said, it's bad. When you have the amount of rain that we had this summer, and
Seems like it.
the herbicides work great if you don't have rain and they're that first part of the summer. The second part, if you do get a lot of moisture, like I said, that native grass takes off at the end of July and it grows 6 feet and it's everywhere.
You know how many gallons, I'm sure you got the stats somewhere, I can't think, but do you know how many gallons of like do you spray?
Are you talking just the
Total.
product or
Total.
could we mix it with water?
Correct, yes. Total solution,
I don't even know what it was this year.
but you could give me those.
I could get the numbers.
Okay.
How many gallons?
And could you also get what the cost, not spraying, just the cost per gallon on the chemical? Like what I'm saying, once the solution's mixed, what it costs per gallon to spray it out, or what it cost for the product mixed.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know at one time we did have we had it broke out, but I think we have it all in the vegetation.
I was thinking I saw it at one
We
point.
used to have it broke out, but it's easier just to put it all together. Onion wise.
I'll explain later, but there's a reason I have been wondering that.
Okay, good enough. All right. That it?
That concludes my long-winded report.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Consideration action taken for county highway vouchers is first. Motion.
We'll make a motion and stuff to. Vouchers.
Second. Are there any questions, clarifying any questions, discussion? Okay, all right, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Motion passes. 7B, County Road M, Johnson parcel, deed for highway right.
Yeah, so the county was approached from the Johnson family up on County Road M. This is north of Colfax. They sold some property to Windmill Dairy. And the unfortunate thing, when it got sold, the little portion of the road right away, that 33 feet, was still on the tax parcel for the Johnson family. So it's land that they will not utilize. So they approached the county about the possibility of basically doing a quick claim deed and giving that 33-foot portion to the county for right-of-way purposes. So that's what that is there. The green portion is what they would in there is the portion they sold off, and then the portion to the north is what they still own. They'd be looking at just giving it all at that point in time. That 33-foot strip along their property. Because a lot of people, their legal descriptions go to the center line of the road, and
Right.
so we're there on the easement. That's typically what a lot of roads are. So
This does not affect anything.
does not.
Sounds good.
It's nice that if we rebuild this road, we don't have to compensate them for their existing right of way.
Mhm.
So
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and second, made and seconded to accept the right away by Reed Surfaces. Any questions? Any discussion? All in favor?
I,
Any opposed? Motion passes. 7C, Scott's surplus auction. Equipment.
yeah, in your last item of the packet, I put a list together of some equipment that we're gonna look at putting on the auction. The first big ticket item is truck 187. It's a tandem axle plow truck. I don't remember what year it is. I want to say it's a 2016, I believe. Maybe a little bit older than that, but so this is a backup spare truck now that we purchased these new tandem axles. We do have a sister truck to this that I'd like to get rid of as well, but it has dual wings on it, and that's the only truck we have as a backup for our interstate routes. You gotta have dual wings, so we're gonna have to keep that one until we replace our state trucks on the interstate, which is anticipated for next year. So we're looking at obviously getting rid of that on the auction site, as well as two pickups. Obviously, we got two 2026 models in, two come in, two go out. It's my model. So those are 2010. These are 2010 pickup trucks, 2010, 2011. So they're 15 years old. Is that what one of them is? Yeah. So the bodies are just barely hanging on. So we'd be looking at disposing of those two. And then the two asphalt crack routers. So these are when you go out, we crack fill roadways, you route the crack, and then you put the sealant over it. These two routers we have not utilized for, I bet you, 5 years now. The reasoning, they work great, they still work. They don't have a dust collection system on it.
So, yeah, we talked about this before.
So that is the reason why we would get rid of them. We're not gonna retrofit it. The cost to retrofit a collection system on it is more than they're worth. So we look at disposing of them. We have not routed the cracks in the last 5 years. If the state requires it, or if we require it, we've rented it from an adjoining county. So it's worked out well for us, so we'd be looking at disposing of those as well.
So how do you get those cracks that opened up to get the fill in there?
So you always want to do it early spring or late fall. So when
They're
the
still kinda
temperatures get
separated?
cold, when they're colder, they're separated. Obviously in the heat, they compress, so. A lot of times, I'm not gonna lie, when you go in and crack route them, you gotta follow that crack exactly. Now, if you don't follow it exactly, you just made another crack.
Mhm.
So what turned in from one crack turns into two, three, multiple cracks, potentially. And I'm not gonna lie, we rush things. We're trying to get as much production as we can down in a day, so we, like I say, may not be the most efficient when it comes to staying on top of that crack the whole time, so.
All right, so we need a motion to
Make a motion to approve the
say,
proposed equipment for the Wisconsin surplus auction.
I'll second it.
ooh, that's a tie, man. I don't know. My favorite thing goes to Jerry. Jerry, okay. Jerry gets a second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Consideration action, nothing for county board. Next meeting will be November 12th at 8:00.
I remember that.
If he doesn't, we're gonna be sitting here for 15 minutes, just to let you know.
I never seen it get done at 8:15. It's all more like
Yeah, we
8:30.
gotta plan ahead. Anyway, 8:00. Same place.
We can always do it on Thursday.
I know, we're gonna keep going. If he screws up the thing, if he needs to get more, that's. All right, meeting adjourned.